We're reading Ladies, my name is Agent Crazy, and welcome back to Hogwarts, Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery. We gotta join our friends in the library. You see, lads, we gotta join our friends in the library. Flitwick does a victory dance after winning a duel. I like to see that. Seems that most students and groups are ranked. Most of the students in the group, so the student groups are ranked by Professor Flitwick for their doing assignments. I made my schoolwork early so I could watch the tournament. Curse Breaker, you made it just in time. Someone ever want the group assignment, Professor Flitwick is having us do. Right, to attend the tournament, they're ready to report on a famous duelist. We already have a famous duelist in mind, Professor Flitwick, of course. Who else? We put up all the records we could find about his dueling history. Soon after graduating, young Flitwick won enough duel tournaments to fill a shelf of trophies. I've already been pretty skilled to win those tournaments so quickly. I wonder where he got all the practice. Must set him on the path to competing in tournaments. That's what we should That's just what we should find out. Young Flitwick's road from student to dueling champion, a great angle for our report. Fortunately, records sort of thing are hard to come by. A long time since Professor Flitwick was a student, I suppose to be expected. I asked someone who knew him back then. Or better off asking someone who knew him back then. That's a great idea, Mark Marston. Professor Flitwick really talk to his past and personal life, though. He's a fairly private person. I'm going to embarrass him, so we best be discreet with our investigation. Good point. We're not crossing the line by looking at Professor Flitwick's personal life. I don't think so. We're just trying to find the truth. Searching a subject in order to fully understand it is exactly what being a Ravenclaw is all about. Yes, and we'll be respectful of Professor Flitwick's privacy in our report. Alright, in that case, we're going to include it. That's about Professor Flitwick's time here as a student. Needs to be someone who's been here a very long time, but also keep a secret. Who do you think is the most appropriate to ask about Professor Flitwick's life as a student, Mark Marston? Perhaps we should talk to Great Lady. She's been at Hogwarts for a long time, as anyone can remember. As a Ravenlow's house girl, she might have known Professor Flitwick as a student. Mark Marston, that's perfect. We wouldn't need to worry about her messing Flitwick either. Really, is famously discreet. In fact, she barely speaks at all. That's a whole other problem. She won't just open up to anyone unless they're a Ravenclaw. And that's a good thing we're all Ravenclaws here. Good point. It's bound to test you first. Let's make sure you're a true Ravenclaw. You need to prove you understand what it is to be a Ravenclaw before she answers your questions. Then we're waiting for. We'll just have to brush up on our Ravenclaw knowledge. Facts, history, lore. We'll do whatever we think will help us over the Great Lady. Good thing we're in the library. Let's get studying. Let's see, will it lag? Yeah, it's still laggy. Hope we can prove to the Great Lady we're true Ravenclaws. No one knows what happened to the lost stamina of Rona Ravenclaw. House Relic is dynamite those. I couldn't read it that fast. Sorry, guys. Sapphire's in our house. What's hourglass worth? See, that's a hint. Sapphire. We got to study all the Ravenclaw facts we can. House Founder owned a magical dynamite but was lost centuries ago. Diadem. Ravenclaws are always curious. We're constantly looking to learn more. But right up my section, the Argubus assignment while I'm here. Our house was created by Rona Ravenclaw, one of Hogwarts' founders. God, it's the most house social. I couldn't read that fast again. Sorry. All I have, the lost end of Ravenclaw was. I can't read it that fast, game. Doesn't take much time to get to Ravenclaw to study. It's really fast, quite mysterious. I'd like to know more. New sapphires in our house points archives shine so beautifully. Again, that's another hint. Sapphires. The house points hourglass contains beautiful blue sapphires. Scholars value wit, learning, and wisdom. We never stop learning. How we can prove to the Great Lady that we're true Ravenclaws. Which every sound was something about exciting as dueling. Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? No one knows how the lost dynamite of Ronan and Ravenclaw. Let's have strength right now. We've reviewed all Ravenclaw facts we could find. I even wrote up my section of our group assignment on Professor Flitwick. Great. Tulip and I will handle the rest when our research is complete. Speaking of which, I hope we reviewed enough Ravenclaw facts to win over the Grey Lady. Perhaps the test is in order. Answer me this, Mark. Rowan Ravenclaw's our house runner owned a magical rug that was lost centuries ago. What was it? Sounds like you're talking about the lost diadem of Ravenclaw. That's right. Well done, Mark. You were paying attention. The Grey Lady asked us about lost relics like the lost diadem of Ravenclaw. We'll be ready. Time to talk about the Grey Lady before talk to the Grey Lady before the tournament begins. We should see how Professor Flitwick's dueling training is going too. Let's play for now. 2 miles will go search for the Grey Lady and try to talk to her. Honor, you go check on Professor Flitwick. I'll meet up with you afterward. It's a plan. Come on, Mark Marson. Let's go find the Grey Lady. It's still laggy. Find a clue where the Grey Lady is. Meet me right away. I am the Grey Lady. You dare disturb me? There she is, the Grey Lady. Thanks for coming so quickly, Mark Marston. Well done finding the Grey Lady, Tulip. It wasn't much. I just looked for the most quiet, out-of-the-way place I could find, and she was right there. You suppose she's ringing? We're about to find out from here. Let's go ask. Hello, Miss Lady. You mind if we ask what we were reading? It's just an old poetry book a student left behind. It's just an old poetry book a student left behind. See, are you enjoying it? I was at first, but reading the same page over and over gets rather dull. That's so. What was trying to pay this for you? That way you can read the rest of the book. You do that for me? Of course, anything for the Ravenclaw house ghost. Well, if you insist on helping, I won't stop you. Tell you what's for wondering. Would it be right if we ask you a few questions about Professor Flitwick? Learn more about what he was like as a student. Actually, any duels he might have gone into. Assuming you even knew him back then, of course. Oh, I don't usually speak of such things. Even then, only to members of my own house. That shouldn't be a problem. Both of us are proud Ravenclaws. In that case, you should know what's inside the Ravenclaw house points hourglass. Ravenclaw's house points hourglass is full of blue sapphires. That's right, they're so beautiful the way they shine. Well, as you know a bit about Ravenclaw after all. Anyone can memorize facts we read there to say what it truly means to be a Ravenclaw. It's because you love poetry? I like poetry well enough, but that's not the reason. I started reading this book. I think I know the answer because you haven't read this particular book yet. Yes, that's it. What drives a Ravenclaw is the desire to learn. All it took for me to start reading this book was the fact that I hadn't read it yet. At least one of you understands what it means to be a true Ravenclaw. It would mean a lot to us and everyone at Ravenclaw if you could help us. Learning about Professor Flitwick's past will us understand him better. I understand him more, we'll be able to help him. Professor Flitwick is very dedicated to Ravenclaw. I would also like to help him if possible. I'm still not sure about you. You didn't answer both my questions correctly. But your friend has earned my trust. Hooray. Hooray. I'll tell you what, I can't remember about Professor Flitwick as a student at Hogwarts. He was simply Filius Flitwick back then. Since Filius had only ever doing self-defense, he wasn't expelled. Don't worry, I'm taking notes. I'll write this up when we're done. Young Filius would talk to me as if I were just a nice student. He was so kind. Sounds like young Filius Flitwick was a true. Sounds like young Filius was a true Ravenclaw. We need 5 stars to pass this, guys. He has found himself in a number of scraps and duels at Hogwarts. I would have been like to know young Filius Flitwick. His education learning many always had a new spell to try. Filius always had a reason to try to reason was supposed before dueling them. That's what Darren nasty fuss because he was different. They were starting to fight when he attacked. Filius defended himself. I want to know everything about young Filius Flitwick. Don't worry, I'm taking notes. I'll write this up when we're done. Filius was able to win duels by dipping into his vast knowledge of magic. Despite the way the substance treated Filius' kindness, I didn't read that fast. I think Filius Flitwick was a true Ravenclaw. We are a Ravenclaw. We just answered both her requests correctly. And for Filius, I can't read that fast, game. And I feel Filius was quite popular among the students. He was a curious, intelligent, open-minded young man. I wish everyone at Hogwarts was as kind as young Filius was. His first one, okay. The reason is just before a duel broke out. I had no idea Professor Flitwick had to go so much at Hogwarts. Some students were terrible to young Filius just because he was different. I never damned him in spirit, and he bravely defended himself whenever he was attacked. Could it have been how he got so good at dueling, defending himself against horrible people? I explained why he was so worried in duels between students. Aside from his detractors, Filius was quite popular among the students and very dedicated to his studies. Thank you so much for sharing all of this with us. If it helps Ravenclaw, I'll do what I can. We got more than enough information to finish our group assignment, Mark Marston. You should go check on Audrey and Professor Flitwick and find out how the dueling training is going. Alright, you coming too? Not yet. I'm going to stay and help the Grey Lady finish her book. Well, you should get going. Professor Flitwick needs you. Feeling sporty. Feeling sporty. Quickly now. Going for some dueling practice. That's a lot of Ravenclaws. Flitwick is more skilled at dueling than I ever imagined. I thought Professor Flitwick would be fun, but I'm already exhausted. Trying to help Professor Flitwick taught me a lesson in humility. He's on a whole nother level. Mark, you got here just in time. Hi, Andre. How's dueling practice going? It's going well. Perhaps too well. What does that mean? Flitwick is making great progress in getting back into form for the tournament. He's so skilled no one can last very long against him, even to train. What about practice dummies? They tried it, but Professor Flitwick is so powerful, his spells destroyed them. It's just him about needing a live opponent for proper practice. I see him, I assume that Professor Flitwick could go easy when training with students. That's it, Professor Flitwick has been going easy on us. He's just that skilled. Are we ready to get back to it? I'd like to try a few more spells. Ooh. Must consider this normal practice. We don't have the heart to tell him how exhausted we are. What he needs is to war the opponent, Mark. Want me to practice Professor Flitwick's training partner? Of course. Who better than Hogwarts #1 curse breaker? How do you feel about or free wrestler with Professor Flitwick, Mark? Saying what you told me so far about Phyllis, I'm a bit worried. This won't be easy. At the same time, I'm excited. It's not ready to get to train with an expert like Professor Flitwick. Better than I am, Mark. I'm eager to see how this goes. Alright, Mr. Marston. I see you're going to be my next dueling partner. That's correct, Professor. I'll do my best. Before we go, let me remind you that duels outside the proper is a trick we're headed at Hogwarts. Unless you're defending yourself, right, Professor? Precisely. I see you remember our conversation on this subject from our first year. Our practice is to control the environment under the supervision of Professor myself. I understand, Professor. Very good. Let's get to it. Hope you find me a worthy opponent. Alright. Oh, man. Everyone looks so pained. I just with Flitwick. 5 stars to pass. Perhaps I better step up my notch by torment. I torment his opponent simply holding back. Keep it up, Mark. This is what the Professor needs. What a talent. I was ready to be worried, but this is still exciting. Doing against Professor Flitwick than I did. Try to retain this a little longer, Mark. Professor Flitwick is far beyond being just a worthy opponent. I feel like I'm finally getting back in the groove of things. Nice one, Professor. You nearly got me. I'm gonna be sore for a few days after this. Lag! Getting back in the shape. I apologize if I'm not in top form. Well done deflecting that, Mr. Marston. I never step out. Not my opponents. My tournament opponents won't hold back. Challenge. I was ready to be worried, but it's still exciting. Okay, now I'm just repeating myself. Doing better against the Flitwick than I did. I think this is far better than this being a worthy opponent. Keep it up, Mark. This is what Professor Flitwick needs. What a treat it is to duel again. I think I may finally be back in top form. Once your dueling skills home, I will do you justice, Professor. Like you're ready for the tournament? Why as I'll ever be, I'm quite excited. I thank you all enough for encouraging me to participate in this tournament. I advise you to keep your expectations grounded. The competition I'll be facing is no joke. Even learned that the current champion is other than Evelyn Starling. The Evelyn Starling, the world famous duelist. The same. She was a Ravenclaw too, just like us. In fact, Miss Starling even wrote a book on dueling tips for the benefit of our house. They was stashed away in the artifact room for future generations to discover. It's like a lot like the dueling book my prefect told me about my first year of Hogwarts. I needed to prepare for my duels because so much has happened since then. Was that book supposed to be a secret? We Hogwarts professors often know more than we let on, Mr. Marston. And it's fortunate your conflict with the side did not lead to any explosions. As it certainly was. I'll never forget that advice my prefect gave me way back then. You'll probably need three things. You'll need three things: an offense move, a defensive ability, and a creative advantage. That is helpful, guys, even today, Mr. Marston. Perhaps I ought to consider it myself. What should these do you think will be most helpful to me in the tournament? I think an offensive move would be most helpful. They say the best defense is a good offense. Very well, I'll consider my offensive tactics. At least I have just a thing in mind. The good news as well, I've heard from the organizers of the tournament. The dates and times when my matches have been set. I am now an official competitor. Yeah! Let's get your group assignments finished soon if you wish to attend. For those of you who have, I'll see you at the Tooth Hill Dueling Club Invitational Tournament. Tournament's underway. It's nearly time for the finals. Can you help Professor Flitwick? Can you guide Professor Flitwick to the victory? How much time we got? Let's see how long this will let me record for. Our group paper is done. Let's go cheer for Professor Flitwick.